everyone, my name is Gabby. Let's play an impossible game. So, the MecKidz production team found a game of impossible trivia, and they want to test me on it. Kids at home, see if you can get these questions right. Okay, I'm ready for the first one.
Ankara is the capital of which country? A. Tanzania, B. Turkey, C. Indonesia, or D. Thailand?
B. I don't remember what B was, but B.
You are correct.
Yes!
It's Turkey.
Let's go. Okay. I'm really good at this. I'm really pumped.
Next question.
Okay.
What kind of fruit is an orange pippin? A. Pineapple, B. Grape, C. Orange, or D. Apple?
B.
You are incorrect. It is D. Apple.
Dang! I knew it.
To the exact, yes, exact square miles, what is the area of the state of Louisiana? A. 43,533 square miles. B. 43,222 square miles. C. 43,566 square miles. Or D. 43,567 square miles.
D.
Incorrect. It is C. 43,500.
Really? By one? Like, you gotta be kidding me. I was so close. Literally so close.
Final question.
All right, hold on. I gotta get ready for this. Okay, I'm ready.
At the beginning of 1990, which country had the most camels? A. Iran, B. Egypt, C. Somalia, or D. Israel?
I don't know. I'm trying to think back on camels. A.
It is C. Somalia.
Dang. Is it recording?
Yep, it's recording.
I was just dwelling in myself. Okay. I only got 1 out of 4 right. That trivia was legit impossible. Which reminds me, did you know it is impossible to be perfect? No matter how hard you try, you will face times when you mess up and let someone down, and you will definitely have a friend mess up and let you down. Today, we're gonna talk about what we should do if we or a friend messes up. But before we do that, I'm gonna pass things along to Crew to lead us in some worship. See you in a bit.
Hey MecKidz, my name is Maddie, and I'm a member of Crew, a group of middle and high school students here at Mech that love worshiping God. This next song is called You Are My Hope. And when bad things happen, it's important to know that God is with us, that God is your hope. So everybody stand up, sing loud, move the furniture out of the way so you can dance with us. And kids, if you're watching this with your parents, tell them to dance with you too. Let's do this.
See the sunlight, it's gonna be alright. I won't be afraid, no. When the waves are crashing and lightning is flashing, I'll still be standing. I won't be afraid, 'cause you light the dark, you fill my heart with courage. When I'm afraid, Jesus, you are my hope. I call your name, you keep me safe, your strength is perfect. I will trust in you alone. You are my hope. You are my hope. Even when I can't see what lies in front of me, I know you're with me. I won't be hope. I will not fear. I know you're with me. You're always with me. I will not fear. I know you're with me. You're always with me. You light the dark, you fill my heart with courage. When I'm afraid, Jesus, you are my hope. I call your name, you keep me safe, your strength is perfect. I will trust in you alone. You are my hope. You light the dark, you fill my heart with courage. When I'm afraid, Jesus, you are my hope. I call your name, you keep me safe, your strength is perfect. I will trust in you alone. You are my hope. You are my hope. You are my hope.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of John, chapter 21, verses 1 through 19.
Peter hauled in the knotted net yet again as the first light of dawn gleamed in the eastern sky.
Empty. Not a single fish all night.
Thomas shook his head.
I doubt we'll catch a thing before it's time to take the boat in.
John studied Peter thoughtfully.
Peter, you didn't really want to catch fish anyway, did you? You just wanted to get out in the boat and do something normal.
Peter shrugged, but he knew John was right. Over the past few weeks and months, everything in his life had turned upside down. First, Peter had shown the courage to speak the truth about his friend Jesus.
You are the Christ. You are the Son of the living God.
Many people wanted to make Jesus king, even though the religious leaders hated him. The day before Jesus was killed, Peter had promised Jesus that he would follow him anywhere, and even give up his life for Jesus. But that very evening, Jesus was arrested. Peter was so scared he told 3 different people he wasn't Jesus' friend.
I don't know that man.
Peter felt sick about what he'd done, especially when Jesus was nailed to the cross and died. But then he returned to life. He appeared to his friends. It was amazing, incredible. Everyone was excited beyond belief. Except Peter must have wondered.
Is Jesus mad at me? Am I still his friend? Does he still love me?
Now Peter found himself in the boat, trying to figure it all out. His fingers tightened on the wet rope as he prepared to cast the net one more time. As he glanced over on the shoreline, he saw a figure standing there.
Friends, don't you have any fish?
Nope, not one.
Throw your net on the right side of the boat. There you will find some fish.
The 7 disciples in the boat exchanged glances as Thomas laughed.
I seriously doubt it.
You guys have anything better to do? Let's give it a try.
Together, the men heaved the heavy wet net back into the sea on the other side.
Hey, I think we've got something.
Bring it on in. There's 1 fish.
2 fish,
A red fish. Ugh.
a blue fish, and another one, and another 10. Whoa! Need some help here.
The net was so full of fish, they couldn't haul it into the boat. They began towing it to shore. John gaped at the man still standing on the beach.
It's the Lord.
Excitement raced through Peter's veins. He was about to see Jesus again. But just as quickly, guilt gnawed at his stomach. Facing Jesus meant he had to face how he denied knowing Jesus.
But it's Jesus. I've got to see him no matter what.
Grabbing his coat, Peter jumped out of the boat and into the water. He half ran and half waded to the beach when he discovered that Jesus started a small bonfire. Fish and bread were already toasting over the flames.
He's God's son and he's making breakfast for us.
Jesus smiled at Peter.
Bring some of the fish you have just caught.
Yes, Lord.
Peter ran back to the lapping water to help his friends haul their fish to shore.
153.
You counted?
Don't doubt it.
Jesus gestured to the disciples to join him around the fire.
Come and have breakfast.
As the disciples gathered, Jesus offered them bread to eat. John whispered to Peter.
This is what he did when we last ate together at the Passover meal.
When breakfast finished, the disciples rose to take care of their fish. Peter found himself walking beside Jesus. There were so many things he wanted to say, but he couldn't find the words.
Simon Peter, do you really love me more than these others do?
Peter swallowed hard. Surely Jesus knew what he felt.
Yes, Lord, you know that I love you.
Feed my lambs.
Peter remembered how Jesus would compare people to sheep in his stories.
Peter, do you really love me?
Lord, you know that I love you.
Take care of my sheep.
Sheep, people. Peter waited in his mind. Jesus must be telling Peter to take care of the people who had followed him.
Peter, do you love me?
Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you.
Feed my sheep.
Just as Peter denied knowing Jesus 3 times, he now confirmed 3 times that he loved Jesus. What's more, Jesus wanted Peter to go out and share that love with others.
He's forgiven me, even after what I did.
Peter, things are going to get even more difficult for you. You are going to be led places you do not want to go.
Peter slowly nodded his head. He was willing to do anything Jesus asked of him.
Follow me.
Yes, Lord, I will.
Because Jesus had forgiven him, Peter was now free to share the love of God with those around him, without carrying around a heavy load of guilt.
Can you believe Jesus just forgave Peter, even after he denied knowing him? That means you should forgive your friends and family too. Good friends are quick to say, I'm sorry, and even quicker to say, I forgive you. And you can forgive someone even if they don't ask you to. Instead of holding it against them, you can just decide to let it go. Let's talk more about this. Families, pause the video and talk about people or things you need to forgive. Then meet us back here. I want to make sure you know forgiving someone does not mean you have to trust them. You need to be wise. You may forgive someone, but that doesn't mean that you have to keep hanging out with them if they keep hurting you. It's important to spend your time with friends who treat you right and help you stay on the right track too. But if a friend does mess up, remember to treat them the way you want to be treated. Put yourself in their shoes. Wouldn't you want your friend to forgive you? This week, let's practice forgiveness. To help, download the home guide. You can find it on the Mec website and the Mec app. Do the activities this week. It'll show you how to practice forgiveness in your friendships. Oh, I almost forgot. Next week, we start a brand new series. Check this out.
Are you always you? Let me try that again. Are you always the same you, no matter who you're with? It's tempting sometimes to wear 2 different faces in 2 different places. You're polite to your teacher, but you snap at your mom. Or you answer every question in small group, but you don't speak up when a kid at school is being bullied. Or you're always careful with screen time at home, but at a friend's house, you visit websites your parents haven't okayed. You tell yourself you're not lying. Not really. Not with your mouth. But your actions say that you're 2 different people. Instead, you can choose to be truthful in all you say and do. Treat everyone with respect, not just the people who can help you. Choose to always obey your parents, even if they're not around. And if you love building epic Lego creations at home, don't pretend at school you don't like Legos because it might not be cool. When you choose to be the you that God made you to be, no matter where you are, others can see God at work in you. That's why integrity is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
That looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna watch that next week. I hope you will too. See you later.